In our case, since the animation is already completed, we're able to look at the character, see what they look like, see their facial reactions. You already know, because the show has been finished, at least the director will know, the writer will know, a lot of information about that character, like how old the character is, what their background is the show set in outer space, is it set in Chicago, is it set in Japan, you know, so it's based on all of those things. You're determining the character, so it's really no different than preparing for any other kind of role. If it would be, you know, for a film or for a play, you know, you develop that character, and then the development of that character will determine what their voice is like. I mean, if I was in a, like, I did a stage play, this was several years ago now, but it was set in New York, so I did a New York accent for that play. So it's, those kind of things are just determined by what the character is like, and how old the character is, and is it a little boy, and just, you know, where's the little boy from? Is he a mad scientist, or is he from South America, perhaps? I have done both of those things. So, yeah, it's just really depends on what the character is like, and then the voice just is kind of a side effect of that, if you will. Yeah.
I want to know, in your career in anime, did you ever get a chance to learn Japanese?
I don't speak very much Japanese. I speak just a tiny amount of Japanese, a few little phrases and odd words here and there, and much of that has really come from doing the script adaptations, because I'm listening to the Japanese version over and over again, and, you know, working on the English dialogue. But I mean, it'd be hard not to pick up a little bit of Japanese, but to actually hold a conversation, I really can't do that. It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Maybe back to the last couple episodes of Eva. Were you confused about this?
Yes, I found the last couple of episodes of Ava to be very, very confusing. This was back in the day when I would watch it like the day before I was going to go in. And so I was going to be working on those last couple of episodes, and I watched it the night before. and I called Matt, the director. I called him up, and I was like, "What the hell was that about? Really? That's what all this has been leading up to? Really?" I was very confused, but I've come to accept it now, and I actually much prefer the TV series ending over the end of Evangelion ending, obviously. Yes, but at the time when I watched it, I went, huh? But let's admit it. I mean, really, if the ending was like really cut and dried and clear, nobody would be talking about it 15 years later. It would be something in the past. There wouldn't be a Shinji cosplaying, you know, in the Asuka plug suit in the back, so none of that would be happening. Oh, yes.
What do you think of Asuka's new plug suit and the name change?
Okay, let me tell you about Asuka's new plug suit and the name change. Merchandise. It's see-through, totally inappropriate. They never give a reason for it. I have a line that's like, "Don't you think this is a little bit too revealing?" Yeah, it is. She's 14. But, yeah, seriously, Gynax, I mean, they started out as a model kit company, you know, garage kits, and they're all about marketing the toys. I mean, if you're dressed as Yoko, you know how they are about marketing toys. These people can sell merchandise like nobody's business, and that's nothing but merchandising. The Shikanami thing, I don't know. I have some ideas about that. Makanami, Ayanami, Shikanami. They're all still ships, though. They're all still named after. If you guys are aware of that, all the main characters in Ava, their last names are like battleships, destroyers, whatever, different ships from World War II. So, I don't know which ship, but I'm not geeky enough to know that information. I just know it's a ship. Yeah.
What was it like doing a character that had a lot of like mental breakdowns? Was that fun or challenging?
The mental breakdowns, they are a challenge. I mean, it's kind of cathartic, you know, it's cool as an actor to get to play something. It's a little more deep and emotional, because, you know, a lot of anime can be fairly two-dimensional. It can be, I mean, not literal sense, but I mean the characters as well can be kind of a one-note thing. So it's interesting when there is some more depth to them and you get to play that. But yeah, I mean, you're very vulnerable. And an interesting thing that I've noticed over the years going to conventions is I've had people say to me, you know, I think I have some interest in acting, but I don't believe I'd be able to go on a stage because I feel like I get too much stage fright. But I think, boy, yeah, I could really be a voice actor. Well, let me tell you something. When you're in a recording booth and there are two people sitting on the other side of the glass, waiting for you to do something, I mean, you talk about stage fright. I don't really have that problem so much. I'm not saying that I never get nervous, but it's a lot more pressure. It's a lot more pressure. You're in there, time is money, they need you to record, they want you to get it right the first time, hopefully. I mean, you can do extra takes, obviously, if you need them, but it's so much more intimate. There's so much more pressure. When I'm up here on a stage, it's kind of, there's a lot of people out there, and if I'm doing a play, normally there are other actors and I get to pretend you don't even exist and I'm just talking to the other actors and I don't even look at you. So, I don't know. I went off on a tangent again, sorry. Yeah.
So what percentage would you say that actors, voice actors in particular, have that, I believe it's called the triple kill, acting, singing, and dancing? Because I know they're
dancing rarely ever comes in handy in a voice
acting. Go ahead. Because I know in Japan that they'll have like a contract. It's like, yes, we'll have this Japanese voice actress who can act, but she's also going to do an idol album. And does that translate kind of?
No, and I mean all of them don't have to be able to do that. Although they do try to get them a lot of times as a ancillary thing, like they're on a. My friend Yuko, she was in a group that was some of the other, she played one of the main characters in Wedding Peach, and they put together a group, and she feels like singing is not really her strong suit, even though she has put out a couple of albums, but it's kind of a thing like, you're in Wedding Peach, so you have to be in the Wedding Peach singing group. I don't remember the name of the group, but I will tell you though, honestly, I find that, I'm really not a singer, but a lot of voice actors are singers, and one thing that really comes into it is the rhythm. There's definitely a certain rhythm to it when you're watching the anime and you're watching the little flippity flaps go and those mouth movements and you're trying to match that pacing, whatever it might be. So there's something to timing, and I've noticed that there are a lot of voice actors that are singers. If they dance, I don't care. I took dancing. Hasn't ever come in handy for voice acting though, but yes, hat.
Okay, there are a lot of people about like Ava and stuff like that, and
Yes.
you love that show, but what are some other animes you've worked on that you don't get a lot of questions about because not a lot of people should have seen it, but you're like, it's a really good show. Shit. What other animes that are lesser known that you worked on that you really love?
Oh, One Daba Style. That was awesome. We did that years ago. I don't even know if you can still get it. It was super fun. I played this 12-year-old mad scientist, boy genius character. Super duper awesome. And also around that same time period, Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which is based on the Goemon Nintendo video game. Anybody? Okay, there you go. I've worked on so many shows, and obviously the thing about, like I was saying earlier, Ava is special. It's a more widely known show. It's got a big international following. Like for me, as I was mentioning earlier about meeting Mitsuishi-san this weekend, the reason I am super excited to meet her, despite her prolificness, as she's done so many hundreds of great characters, obviously Usagi and Misato, who's my second favorite character in Evangelion, but she and I both did Komei Sawaguchi in Blue Seat, so that is particularly why I'm excited to meet her. So I've wanted to meet her since whenever we started doing that, 1995, so been holding that in for a long time. I'm going to try to do better than when I met Mia Murasan. I nearly passed out. It was pretty bad. But I'm going to do much better this time. Fingers crossed. But there's all kinds of random things. I did a whole bunch of different characters in Excel Saga. The best compliment that I can ever get is if someone is looking over my credits and goes, "Oh, I didn't know that was you." That's the best ever. Like if they don't realize that it's your voice, I always think that's the highest compliment. And I also similarly enjoy giving that compliment to other voice actors that and most people do take it that way, that, you know, if you weren't able to recognize that it was them because it was such a different role, different kind of role, and super cool. Yes? Oh, Tuxedo Mask, yes.
Ms. Grant, it's a pleasure to meet the voice actress of Yuli Mizrahi from Xeno Saga.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's already been asked, I showed up a little late.
It's okay. I'm sure you had some crime-fighting duties to attend to.
Were you excited when you heard that Ava was getting a rebuild and that you were returning as Asuka?
Yes, I was super excited. Someone asked a similar question, but not that exactly. But yeah, I mean, I have to say I wasn't considering the global popularity of Ava. I wasn't like, I didn't faint from the astonishment that, wow, Anno wants to make more Ava movies, you know. I just imagine him having piles of yen and he just rolls. You know? I don't know if that's true. That's just my imagination. Maybe he doesn't. Might have a special room for that. Yeah, I mean, I was very excited that I was going to get to
Would you crucify me if I asked for a sample of the famous Asuka?
What are you, stupid? Yeah, I tell you, my friend Yuko, who's the Japanese Asuka, she has a little daughter who's 6 years old, Sue, and recently Sue has begun imitating her mother, and this is so cute. Little girl, 6 years old, precious, precious cute child, and we're like, okay, do Asuka, and she'll go, and it is the cutest thing ever. I'm just saying, ever. It's so ridiculously cute. She's totally going to be an actor. Totally following in her parents' footsteps. Yes, where are we going? Yes.
Of all the roles, do you have a favorite line?
Do I have a favorite line? Probably, what are you, stupid? It's probably that one. It's very handy, all-purpose, you know. It comes in pretty handy most of the time. Best catchphrase ever. And you know what's amazing to me is, you know, the politeness of the Japanese society, and as offensive as a phrase as antabaka is. People line up to have Miyamura-san say that to them. I have witnessed this. Then they shriek like little girls. I'm telling you, it's exciting, but the best catchphrase ever. You know, though, she can't actually record that for people, like events or whatever. People want her to do that on their phone or something like that. And Gynax prohibits her from doing that. So actually what she says to them is, what are you, stupid? So she does it for them in English.
One more question.
Oh, yes.
I'm afraid I haven't done my research directly, but the character of Asuka is fluent in Japanese and German. Are you as well?
I am not. I can speak German, but I really can't speak Japanese.
I see.
And tell you what, that was a very Miyamura-san was very apprehensive about that when she found out that she was going to do this character that had to speak German, and she had absolutely no background in German whatsoever, so she did go and take like a little kind of a crash course to prepare for it. And you know, I think she did very well considering how dissimilar the languages are. You know, German and Japanese there's really no similarity at all. I'm sure she was very relieved in the new movie that she didn't have to speak any German. And conversely, I was very disappointed that I didn't get to. I hope that's not a huge spoiler alert for you, but yeah, I didn't get to speak any German. I was so sad.
Is the famous scene when Shinji and Asuka are sharing the Ava capsule, and she demands that he thinks in German?
I love that scene. Spike was so funny, and that's like Wiener Schnitzel. God, that's very Spike-ish, by the way. That's the little bit of Spike that shines through, because otherwise Spike and Shinji are nothing alike. I mean, nothing at all. Okay, wait a minute, I'm checking. We've got about 5 minutes, so. Camera person, over here.
Yeah, for the new movie, what was it like working with a completely new director and a mostly new cast? What was it like? Did it change how you voiced the character at all?
That is very interesting. Well, as far as the cast goes, what I was saying earlier is that we're never together anyway, so that doesn't make any difference to me, because I would always it would just be me and the director and the sound engineer. In some ways, it was different because it was a different director than I had worked with on Ava. Now, I've been friends with Mike McFarland for years. He's directed me on Full Metal Alchemist, Case Closed, several shows. So it wasn't anything weird like I'm meeting this director for the first time and I've never worked with him. But at the same time, it was someone that I haven't worked with on Ava. So there were a few times when I would, suggest things like, okay, now I realize this is Shikinami Asuka, this is not Soryu Asuka, but, this needs to be, what are you, stupid? That's what she says. This is the line. So there were a couple things that I got to add in like that, yay me. So, last one. Oh, there's two of you. Okay, you.
Which Oscar do you like better?
Oh, gosh. For now, I'm probably going to have to say Soryu because we've only seen this one movie. I'm going to have to withhold that judgment until we get all 4 of the movies. I mean, maybe I'll be like 70 by the time those come out. I don't know how long those are going to take. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this story goes. But right now, the odds are in Soryu's corner, I would say.
Thank you. You're better than most of the internet fans with that answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. I've never turned down a role that I actually got cast in. No, never. There's a lot of things that I've auditioned for that I didn't get. And then there is the very rare occasion of what somebody mentioned earlier about Gurren Lagann, where I actually did get it, we recorded it, and then it went away, which was really sucky, I have to tell you. But no, there's nothing that I got offered. I'm like, oh no, I'm an actor, I have millions of dollars, and I'll just turn that job down. No, my standards are very low. Very, very low. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty much time, unless anybody, last quick one?
Just
Okay.
one last question, apart from the Ava stuff, but
Yeah.
did you giggle after doing the "It's Reading My Mind" line?
I can't, that's,
When
that
you're
was,
at the end of Evangelion, where you let people attack.
I don't know. That was like too long ago, I can't remember. I don't know.
Well, if it's coming up with a movie, I'm sure you'll do it again
Okay.
soon.
Okay, maybe so. All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you very much for coming. I'm doing autographs later, I think at 1:30. So be there or be square. It's at 1:30.
Thank you.